Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our Your Health program. After that rather quick emergency break I had to do, unfortunately, when you're live on TV, sometimes you kind of lose track of the time, and obviously we have to have breaks. So my apologies for that short, quick handbrake skid I did before the break. Anyway, alhamdulillah, welcome back to Your Health live health show. Our number is 214-299. If you have any questions, please feel free to ring in. If you don't want to ring in, if you don't want to speak live, you can phone into the studio, and Adil Bhai will give you our details, and you can contact us for free advice. We've got a call on. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Doctor, I've got a question. What do you recommend for enlarged prostate?
Very nice question. Enlarged prostate. Jazakallah.
And the other question is, I spoke to you several months ago about kidney disease.
Kidney disease.
Berberis for the tincture.
Berberis.
I wanted to ask
Berberis
you
vulgaris.
what strength?
Mother tincture. It's just in mother tincture, Berberis vulgaris. But if you keep listening, inshallah, I'll explain to you in detail. Okay, bye.
Yes. Is it homeopathic or is it just the liquid?
No, get the homeopathic tincture.
Okay. So I'll.
Jazakallah.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Acha. So we were just discussing the remedies. Adil bhai, what camera are we on? Okay. So before the break, we were discussing the remedies for brain tonic, which are the best remedies for the brain. And I mentioned to you the KLI Phos, and I mentioned all the merits of that. And then I went on to something called gelsemium. Gelsemium is an amazing remedy. So I was just explaining that in World War II, they would use this gelsemium for anxiety, for panic attacks. Because what would happen is that when these soldiers were told to go over their kind of trenches and fight the enemy, they'd be shot by their enemy. Yeah? And if they didn't go over and disobeyed their officer, they'd be shot for insubordination by the officer. What would happen then? These guys would just have so much fear that often they would lose control over their own bowels. They'd be shaking, go into a panic attack mode. Gelsemium is that remedy which can help people with panic attacks. It can help people with all kinds of, acute phases of panic, weakness, tiredness, lethargicness, mind-brain fog. Gelsemium sempervirens. Before we continue with this remedy, let me just answer this question. Somebody just phoned in for an enlarged prostate. First of all, the prostate gland is right on top of the urethra. Yeah? So you have the bladder, where all the urine is kind of stored. Underneath the bladder, so from the bladder to the end of the private parts, there is a long, kind of 7 inches long, small, narrowish tube called the urethra, whose job it is to bring urine out. So at the base of this bladder and at the beginning of this urethra, the urethra actually passes through the prostate gland. You have this kind of walnut-sized gland. And what this gland, it has its function. It puts prostate fluid into the semen, etc. It has its function. But what happens as you get older, or sometimes even if you don't get older, you get something called acute prostatitis, which means inflammation of the prostate. It just swells up. It becomes infected. And when it becomes infected, it causes a tightening of that, that small little nully, or that small little tube called the urethra. And that will then make you want to go to the toilet more often. Sometimes you'll have burning. In acute prostatitis, you'll have burning. In benign prostatic hyperplasia, you'll have a gradual, weak flow of urine. It'll become feeble. You'll get up at night time to go to the toilet, and more often than not, there won't be much urine there. Why? Because you are going to the toilet not because your blood is full, but because that prostate is kind of tightening and is giving you the wrong signals, making you think that you need to go to the toilet. The single best thing for prostate gland are pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are so good for the prostate, the benign prostate hyperplasia. This is the one with age. If you actually have an acute infection of the prostate, then there's other homeopathic remedies like Cantharis, which is very good when you have burning pain, you feel so angry, you feel delirious, and there's pain when you're urinating. Sometimes you're only urinating in small drops that are burning, scalding. Cantharis is a very good remedy for that. Pereira brava is another remedy for that, and the third remedy is Apis. That's for the acute prostate issues, and your GP may often give you some antibiotics for that. But the benign prostatic hyperplasia, the one that affects most people, because most males don't have prostatitis, because the length of it, of that urethra, is just so large that from the ending of the urethra, where the meatus is, bacteria can't reach, it's killed on the way. Compared to the females whose urethra is maybe 2.5 inches, very easily, bacteria can go from the entrance of the the genitalia upwards, and it can cause even kidney infection. So the prostate, prostatitis, or the infection of the urethra is more often in ladies than men. But nonetheless, the best thing for prostate-related issues is something called pumpkin seeds. If you Google pumpkin seeds, you'll see everything about this is amazingly good for keeping the prostate in good health. So I hope that answers your question. And the second thing, for kidneys, mashallah, if you have any kidney issues, with your GP's consent and his information, keep him on board. Berberis is an amazing remedy, Berberis vulgaris. And this is the mother tincture. It's the homeopathic. It's actually, the plant is taken, it's macerated, and all the goodness is extracted. That's known as the mother tincture. That's the original, and from there you can make homeopathic remedies. So this is the physical dose of that remedy. It's like an extract. So that's known as the mother tincture. So if you order that and take that maybe 8 drops 3 times a day, it's one of the best things for people with kidney disease. Kidney disease is serious. Allah Ta'ala sabki father for my kidney disease say, you know, people don't realize your EGFR level should be above 90, between 90 and 100. And a patient just a few days ago, she was saying hers is 50. 50 is crazy. Why is it 50 for? Should be above 90 all the time. Your GP may say to you, oh, it's because of your age. I wouldn't accept that. Your age should be no decider of how your kidney function should be. You should look after your kidneys. So Berberis vulgaris is very, very good. Alongside other homeopathic medicine, it's always good to see a consultant homeopath who can prescribe you a remedy which covers the totality. But anyway, hopefully that should help. So back to this remedy called Gelsemium. Gelsemium is a good remedy for the brain, for the tiredness, for the nerves. It can help for, you know, if you're weak and you have muscle weakness, if your arms move, you know, if you have this if your arms are moving, like you have in Parkinson's, for instance, or you have local paralysis, one hand, one leg, one feet, eyelid paralysis, ptosis is known as. For all these things, Gelsemium is very good alongside something called causticum as well, which is the last remedy. So feeling dull in your mind, feeling nervous, having tremors, feeling anxious, all these remedies can, having muscular atrophy, if some muscles are being wasted away, you fall down easily, feeling dizziness, Gelsemium is the best remedy, and you should take this in the 3x dose or the 6C dose 3 times a day. It's very, very good. Again, if you have any issues with if you have any issues with this dizziness, then you should take this. If you have issue with like Parkinson's and you want to take K-Lifos or Gelsemium, then you should give it about 1.5 years of taking it 3 times a day. It's a major illness. It takes time with your GP's consent. Again, with paralysis, if you have any paralysis, you've had issues. Paralysis is due to it's a mind issue. The mind can cause this paralysis. Yeah. So 6-7 months of taking these remedies 3 times a day. And if you have any issues with memory loss, again, K-Lifos, it helps your brain, tones the brain up, it brings it back to normal. You should take this remedy for 2-3 months. And of course, paralysis remedy is causticum for muscle weakness, numbness, writer's cramp, single organ paralysis, causticum 200 every night. Alhamdulillah. So the combination remedy would be K-Lifos combination with Gelsemium, 6x of both 3 times daily, and inshallah, hopefully you've benefited today. May Allah give us the ability to say things which are beneficial to each and all of us. From next week, inshallah, I'm going to break this into 2 parts. The first part, we're going to go through different homeopathic remedies, so your knowledge of homeopathic remedies can increase. We're going to go through from tomorrow, 3 remedies, aconite, belladonna, chamomile, inshallah. Please join me then. Until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.